What is going on, you guys? So, a couple of days ago on the 7th, a new ZillaKami album came out called Audio Creep, and I just want to dive into that today because I'm a pretty big ZillaKami fan, especially the new solo direction he's been taking. I know he's still doing stuff with City Morgue, but I think in general he's just been taking more of a solo journey. Yeah, the last City Morgue album release was in 2023 with Wacko? I'm pretty sure it's meant to be Wacko. Yeah, that was a pretty good album. It came out with not only the Haha Wacko song, but Sauna and stuff like that. Some pretty good tracks, but yeah, over the past couple of years, besides that, he's just been doing some solo stuff. I'm sure he's still been touring. I haven't been looking into that, but I'm sure he's still touring with City Morgue. But it looks like ever since Dog Boys, he's just been focused on his solo stuff. I mean, he's dropped the 2 singles already this year, and new album. In general, it seems like he has been cutting back on their releases, because before those 2 single releases in 2026, we had the 2 from 2025, and that was it since My Bloody America. We had a whole 2-year gap there of releases. And I think somewhere in between that time was when SOS Mula dropped Sex Pistol. That was a pretty good one. Also, this is something I feel like I should mention. ZillaKami is now at 1.2 million monthly listeners. City Morgue is only at 500,000. ZillaKami has really blown up over the past few years. I remember when these guys were really underground, and that wasn't too long ago. So yeah, let's get a listen to Audio Creep. It's got 50,000 plays already on every single track. So we'll start it off on track 1. I'll give you guys a bit to listen to that on your own, and then I'll give my advice as to or not advice, but my opinion as to what I think of every track on here. We got 16 tracks, so it's gonna be a bit of a long one, but we'll see how good everything is. I haven't really listened to any of it at all. Just a couple of tracks when I first saw it come out, but I've kind of been saving listening to all of them for this video, so I'll let you guys know what I think. So, track 1, Hi Robot. Very good start. Anybody watching this, I'm sure you're more fans of ZillaKami and that kind of scene, but if you know who the Butthole Surfers are, it gives me that kind of feel, you know? Just that experimental electronic feel, you know? And it's not really so much a song, it's more just kind of an intro. This isn't something that I'd be bumping on the regular, but it's a very good start to the album. You know, it gives a good feel for it, I guess. It's definitely probably, I'm assuming, going to be very different from the rest. It gives a good vibe. Yeah, in particular, it reminds me of the Astronaut song. But pretty much anything on the new After the Astronaut album, that reminds me of that a lot. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these releases were on a different album. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, Weird Revolution from 2001. A lot of the songs on their new album were from that. They're kind of just remasters. But yeah, it's a pretty good start to it. It gives a good feel. I like that kind of vibe. There's not really much to say about it, honestly. Very, very silly stuff, honestly. The lyrics are pretty unintelligible, very mumbly, you know, almost Mosquito-like. So yeah, let's dive into track 2. So track 2, Annie. Absolute masterpiece, honestly. This might be my favorite song on the track, but we'll see. We'll see the rest of them. It had that same kind of experimental electronic feel to it, especially with the intro and stuff. But it also still has that ZillaKami vibe, you know? It feels like he's really edging into a new style here, outside of just the trap rock, you know? But these guys were pioneers, you know, so I'm very glad to see that they're taking kind of a new direction. But the song reminded me a lot of Not Worth It on the Dog Boy album. The Dog Boy album itself, oh my god, that's a masterpiece, bro. And I know this is gonna be his next big hit, I already know. This is just like Dog Boy, it's the same kind of vibe, just with like a new edge to it, which is very sweet. But yeah, a lot of it reminds me of that song, Not Worth It. Just the way that it goes, the way the topics are formed, you know, it just has that same kind of vibe, that kind of disassociation feel. Yeah, it's a very sweet vibe. I always like the ahs, you know, the little harmonizations they do, and the outro is really nice. It's one of those little things where it's like a voicemail left behind, someone's checking up on him kind of thing. It's very cool to see that in a ZillaKami song, you know. You usually see that in a, I don't know, I guess cringier setting, you know. It just doesn't ever really fit in too well, and it's just there, you know. In this song in particular, it not only fits in really well, like it fits the rest of the song and the meaning very well, but it fits the vibe very well. I can just really appreciate that, you know. And that chorus hits, bro. That chorus hits. Let's tune into track 3, see if track 3 can beat that. Fragility. So first off, I got the name wrong. It's frailty, not fragility. I added a couple of extra letters there. But the first thing I noticed about this song is that it uses a beat from another song that I've listened to and I've also remixed before, called The Vampire Queen Marceline by Slutty Sony. And that song is actually Heat, and I instantly recognized the beat. Like, I was like, I know this. It took a couple of seconds for it to clock, like, what it actually was, but I instantly knew that I knew this from somewhere else. Very great take. I don't know how he managed to do this. It was meant to be on his solo debut album, apparently, but it was canceled, and then it surfaced in 2019. And apparently, Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day was actually supposed to be featured on it before it got leaked or something, I guess. Which is some crazy stuff. And nowhere seems to be mentioning how this happened, because he didn't write this. Like, it's seeming, they make it seem like he wrote this, but this wasn't written by him, bro. Or it was written by Young Germ or whatever. But it might have been, but I don't think so. I think it originally had a different tag when it was Slutty Sony's. But, you know, let's not think too deep on that. The song is great overall. I don't think it would beat Annie in my mind. That was really good. I've been playing Far Cry 5, and this song really suits the vibe of the game, you know? It really suits the Peggies, you know? Especially towards the ending, spoiler alerts, but, you know, you get basically fucking trapped with Joseph Seed down in a bunker because he was right, and then he fucking transforms you, and then you become the judge in Far Cry New Dawn. It really fits the vibe. They're preaching sins all on the TV, caption CC, all here to pollute me. Draw a gun, shoot me, that's an option if need be. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Very, very suiting to that, honestly. Yeah, I'm still kind of hooked up over the fact that this isn't his beat, and no one seems to be acknowledging that anywhere. But you know, it's not that deep to me, honestly. I just felt I should make that point, especially since it's not really seeming to be mentioned anywhere. But yeah, on to the next track. So track 4, Insanity, that is another great one. I'm not too sure if it tops Annie, but it's definitely up there with it. This is a great one. This is definitely the runner-up at least. I don't know, it's just got a very swingy vibe to it. Very edgy, very in the feels, you know? But it's got like, I don't know, it's kind of just the ZillaKami style in general, but there's just a hardcore edge to it still. And the midst of all the emotions, you know? And that's really one of the biggest things I like about ZillaKami, you know? He's able to be hardcore while still talking emotionally, you know? And most of the time when people are doing hardcore stuff, you know, especially in hardcore punk, it's more of just a political thing, you know, speaking of what's upsetting you, speaking of what's got you having that energy, instead of just exploring those feelings itself. It's a really nice feel to me, honestly. It's very genuine, you know, and it's almost like a cry for help, you know. I've always respected ZillaKami for that, you know. As gangster as he is, still, everybody's got feelings, you know. And he's a real one, too, him and Moolah. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about in the lyrics of this. It's a pretty basic kind of song, but it's got a lot of feels to it. Yeah, let's move on to the next track. So track 5, Quicksand. That was heat, brother. I don't know if I would place it above Insanity and Annie, but I would say it's about my third. You know, at the end of this, I'll give like a ranking for all of them. This song is definitely up there. It's very heat, you know. It hits me personally a lot, very hard. In general, just a very great vibe. The flow is amazing, you know. There's just something so unique about ZillaKami's structuring. I don't know how to explain it, you know. He puts things in ways that no artist really has before, and it sounds good as fuck. You know, that's really what it's all about. It's just hard these days because there is so much music that there's not really much that people haven't done yet. So it's really hard to find some new stuff that actually will resonate with people and that you can actually enjoy personally doing. But this in particular is very heat, you know. And it's got the classical like ZillaKami style, but at the same time, like I've been saying, you know, you can really feel like a new leaf being turned for ZillaKami. You know, like something has been changed in this man, and he's on some kind of new set direction. Yeah, this is a really great song. No need to really go into the lyrics here. Another pretty like simple thing, you know, but it hits very hard. And yeah, let's move on to the next track. So track 6, Godspeed, very simple song, you know, there's not too much there, but it's definitely also one of my favorites on this album. Gonna be one of my favorites. It's definitely gonna be up there. I really like the way he sings this, I guess, because it's not really, I guess the lyrics hit too, you know, it's some kind of David Bowie type of stuff, but his unique take on it is very good. And yeah, let's move on to the next track. So track 7, 7 Years. Now, I kind of have mixed opinions on this one. Well, it's not very mixed, honestly. I just don't really like it personally. I mean, it's a ZillaKami song, so it's not going to be terrible. But it has these awkward gaps between the intro and the outro, which Anthony Green did. The intros and the outros. I don't really like him that much, you know. I personally, honestly, don't know him from anything else, but I don't really like him on this song, you know. It's just some very basic pop stuff, but it works very good for a ZillaKami style, you know, or just the vibe of taking something old and remixing it kind of thing, you know. But I don't think this was a pre-existing song. I think that he was just featured on this. But it has that kind of vibe, which is always cool. Like I said, it's just got these awkward gaps, and it's already like a pretty short song at 1 minute and 52 seconds, so the awkward gaps just cause for a very short song. There's literally just an intro, verse, and an outro. Yeah, let's move on to the next track. Now track 8, this is an interlude very similar to the intro track. It's got that same kind of electronic experimental feel, you know, with that mosquito-y, auto-tuned pitch type voice. Very silly, you know. The things that I could make out what he was saying was pretty cool. I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's just nothing too special to listen to, you know. It's just an interlude. It's literally called Happy Lude, which I'm guessing stands for interlude. It could also mean like ludes in general, like the drug, and just dual meaning. But yeah, let's tune into the next track, see how that one is. So track 9, Jupiter. Holy shit, that hit. Oh my god, that hit. It's got this very electronic experimental beat. Very great. You can really see the new style on this song. It's got that same ZillaKami vocalization style, but he's really taking a new direction. And this song is so great, you know? It was very unique compared to a lot of other ZillaKami songs, even though it still has that same style. I feel like it's very unique and definitely a new page kind of thing. That's what's got me thinking that. But holy shit, not only does this shit hit personally, but it's such a vibe. Holy shit. That's such a flow. This is such a flow state. From those first 2 lines, bro, it had me hooked, bro. And yeah, it's a very nice turnover from the last couple of tracks that felt pretty short, because this is like 2 minutes 39 seconds. We got 2 verses, like 3 choruses, an intro and an outro. Well, not really much of an intro, that was just a producer tag, and the outro is shorter than the producer tag. Yeah, it's a great track, definitely up there with the other ones, and I'm excited to rate these, honestly, because I'm not too sure how it's gonna go anymore. And yeah, let's tune into the next one. Track 10, Snow in the Summer. That shit's pretty heat, not really my style, but it really brings me back to the Toxic Boogaloo era. That really brings me back to that kind of era, and it still has that experimental electronic kind of beat to it,
but the lyricism, all that, it really brings me back to that era. And even though I don't like that as much anymore, I can really appreciate it, as that's the kind of style that really drew me in back in the day. That really drew me to enjoying them before ZillaKami even went on a solo path. So yeah, let's move on to track 11. Like I said, this wasn't too special, but it was very heat and a throwback. It was very nostalgic in a way, almost. Next, we just had Terminal Illness, track 11. Again, I'm not too big of a fan on this one, but the hardcore trap kind of vibe is always appreciated, you know, even if I'm not the biggest of fans anymore. Yeah, nothing too unique about it, you know. It was a bit repetitive. The monotone kind of vibe he has, it always really hits when he does it hardcore. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something about that edge he has that's just drawing. Yeah, let's move on to track 12. So track 12, Nights, very good in my opinion. Even though it's got the same kind of hardcore trap feel, it really gives me the Dog Boy, the hardcore tracks on Dog Boy, kind of gives me the same kind of vibe as that, and I really appreciated those. The lyrics are just a bit too out there for me, you know. I'm not really about that life, so I can't really appreciate it, you know. But this in particular, this one is pretty heat, I cannot lie. It's got that same vibe like I was saying, and it has all the analogies about the dog gang and shit. And yeah, it's highly appreciable and very hardcore, and I like the little peaks he does, you know. I don't know how to explain it. He just does like these high-pitched bits. Like he'll go high-pitched for a second, and it's almost like a squeaker kind of voice, but it's really good. I love when he adds that to his tracks. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next, we just had Cluck Cluck at track 13. And oh my god, dude, this was like the quintessential pinnacle of that hardcore kind of trap vibe, that trap rock, if you will, kind of vibe. And holy shit, this really just blew me away, you know? Especially when he drops that line about the Reggie Miller analogy, that was really heat. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Bad Boys that like kills everybody in the house, all the guys invading. Yeah, this shit was heat, bro. I was waiting for the whole song for Moolah to pop on, bro. It was just that kind of vibe. It was that real, I almost said Sex Pistols, that real City Morgue kind of vibe. And yeah, I can really appreciate that. That one's definitely up there. We're getting close to the end here, so I'm excited to rate them. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. So track 14, a bit of a letdown. It's called Yuthin. I'm pretty sure it's just meant to be like nothing, but kind of typoed on purpose, I'm assuming. I was pretty let down by this one with the past few very good hardcore ones. This was a bit of a letdown. It's not that it's terrible or nothing, it's just, it feels pretty short, you know. It does have two choruses, a verse and a bridge. It feels very short. It's just very repetitive, honestly. The verse doesn't feel too catchy, you know. Nothing very special. I like the end of the verse, the villages I'm pillaging won't even ask you part. That part's pretty chill. I like that. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Track 15, Bye Bye Spaceman. This one blew me away too. Oh my god, was this good, you know? Coming from someone who's a fan of Duster and all of that OG shoegaze kind of stuff, that kind of distant melodic kind of flows, I really could appreciate this track. Start to finish, you know, it was a bit drawing, honestly, because of that kind of slow shoegaze kind of vibe. It goes on for a lot longer than it actually is, it feels like. But it is great. It is such a great vibe. Nothing too special lyrical wise, but very good still. And yeah, let's move on to the last track, and then I'll give my ratings. What a great note to end on. Track 16, Numb. Holy man, that was a good one. It was that kind of the sad kind of ZillaKami feel, you know, away from the hardcore. It has that kind of quintessential feel, you know. It's very similar to a lot of his other stuff, especially on Dog Boy and stuff, but it's very great, you know. It's not only is it unique, like lyrical wise, but melodically, it's a very nice flow. And yeah, like I've been saying this whole time, you can really tell this new direction that he's taking. So yeah, let me go tally up what I think of everything and see what I'm gonna be rating everything.
Now I've got all my places here settled, so I'm gonna quickly run through all this. At the number 16 spot, we have 7 Years. That track just really didn't draw me, you know. I feel like it was pretty easy to tell that was kind of my least favorite out of the bunch. And then next up we have Yuthin, or Nothing, but spelt Yuthin. That one, for different reasons, I also didn't like. It was kind of like the exact opposite kind of vibe. It just really didn't sit right with me. It just felt pretty repetitive, honestly. Next up we have Happy Lude, and above that we have Hi Robot for the 14th and 13th places, because I don't know, they're interludes, you know. What can you really say about them? Nothing too interesting. At the 12th spot we have Terminal Illness. That was a pretty great track. It just wound up at the bottom because a lot of these are pretty great tracks and a lot I like a decent bit more. Next up we have Nights. Yeah, 11th spot. Again, it was pretty good, just not the most drawing in. Same with our 10th spot, Godspeed. Now we get to 9th spot, Snow in the Summer. I really liked that. That was a good one. Next up at 8 we have Frailty, which also was really good. That's the one that reminded me of Far Cry 5. Different kind of vibe than Snow in the Summer, but ranked around the same. Jupiter was pretty good at our 7th spot. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst. It was pretty mid, so it's up there in the middle. Bye Bye Spaceman at number 6. Now we really get into stuff that I was really enjoyed. Bye Bye Spaceman was really great. It had that duster kind of feel, and I was really able to appreciate that as an enjoyer of that style of music. I'm not too into it anymore, but I used to be very into that genre, that little niche style. Next up we have Cluck Cluck, another hardcore trap kind of one. That one was just my favorite of the trap style ones. Very good. It had a lot of great analogies and such, which is like the pinnacle of City Morgue as a whole. It's just like very hardcore, very trap-like, and it's got a lot of analogies. I love analogies in music. Next up at our 4th spot, we have Numb. Numb was very good. It was the last track on the album, and it drew me in greatly. Very great song, very well made, very great idea behind the song. At 3rd place, we have Insanity. Very melodically great, had me hooked pretty much instantly. And number 2, we have Quicksand. Quicksand is pretty heat, definitely deserves the 2nd spot. And at number 1, we got Annie. Annie was so great. It's the 2nd song on the track. Yeah, it's the first actual song on the track, and I was really appreciative of it. It's a very great song, and it really had me so interested in this album instantly. So yeah, that's about gonna do it. I don't really have much else to say. I kind of spent this whole thing talking about the things I wanted to say. So yeah, I'll see you guys.